Thank you so much for clicking this video. I'm going to be sharing with you how I prep everything for meal planning for our family of 7, but we feed 9. So let me explain that first off for you. I cook Monday through Friday for an elderly couple, and I have to make enough of those meals so that they get dinner that night and lunch the next day. So for 5 days, I'm not providing breakfast for 9, but I am providing lunch and dinner for 9. And recently they've asked if I could make a little bit extra so that over the weekend they don't have to worry about going out to eat. So our budget to feed 9 is $800 a month. So I also want to explain how that is going to work for our family. Obviously, each family is going to have what they do and what they work. So I get about $500 a month from the couple to make these meals for them. They are very strict meals, like she can't do onion, she can't have gluten, she needs to be soy free, and I'm trying to be careful with how much dairy I'm giving them. And it's kind of gotten to the point where they can only do soups, and I need to try to figure out ways to get more creative because I feel like our soups are always the same. So how this works is that doesn't cover, as you can tell, our whole grocery budget. So I've taken on some additional work in order to meet our grocery budget, because $500 wasn't cutting it. It was very stressful and we weren't eating the way that we needed to eat. So obviously whatever you can do, that's probably my first point in coming up with the menu plan budget. You need to figure out what you can do realistically. Sometimes I think people over budget when they could have cut some, and then sometimes I think the reverse is true, that they under budget themselves and they really do need some more money. So keep that in mind when you're doing your grocery. Okay, then another way that I try to do to keep our grocery down is, and trust me, this does work, because when I don't do it, we end up spending a lot more and it costs us longer in the run. Some people can shop once a month and it saves them a ton of money. I have tried to do twice a week, and we were just finding that the fridge, it doesn't hold the food, or the food was getting so smashed that it was going bad quicker. So I can't do that. I only have a fridge in my pantry, and we do a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. And so that's something else to take into account. We're gluten free, so a lot of what I have to do needs to go around that on top of what this other couple does. So at that point, I've also shared with you in a video, and I will try to leave that linked above and below and maybe at the end of this one, how we get meat sometimes. And that one, you can go ahead and go watch that, and I've gone into all the details for that. So when I'm making a meal plan for the week, the first thing I do every single time is I shop the freezer and the pantry and the fridge. And the freezer is the first one because meat is the most expensive. It's easiest to do that. So then I kind of get an idea for my meals from that, and then I'll shop the fridge or the pantry and kind of realize what ingredients I do have for what I'm planning, and then if maybe I have more ingredients for something else, even though I've planned, let's say, stir fry, but I have more of the ingredients for, let's say, chicken, Korean chicken. Korean chicken has less vegetables than stir fry, and it cooks differently, cooks more like a stew. So if I have more of the ingredients for a Korean chicken rather than a stir fry, then it would be a wiser decision to do Korean chicken. Alright, so after I've made my menu and I've made out the grocery list of things that I need, after I've shopped everything, then I actually at that point will pull out the ads. I found that when I was pulling out the ads first and going through and then getting all of writing down everything that was on sale, that actually we would end up with too much of something because we didn't use it the last cycle. And so, but when I would, like for example today, when I noticed that chicken was on sale for I think $1.47 a pound, which is really good price, I ended up putting that on the list even though I have everything in my freezer, because then I have fresher meat to put back into the freezer for the next cycle, as long as there's room in the budget for that. So that's really important. Sometimes there will be things that I feel like we've done so many times, and I will go on YouTube. This is from How Jen Does It, and I will just look at some of her videos that she's done with food that or videos that she's done with like what we had for dinner or things like that, or recipe ideas. And like this one, I had almost all the ingredients except for one, which is Dijon mustard, but I use that one a lot, so it's worth it for me to pick it up. And so things like that are really, really helpful in coming up with menu planning. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about this. This is the Erin Condren meal planner. This was sent to me by a friend, and I really do like it, and I'm going to explain why. So each week, I know it doesn't really talk about, just bear with me. Each week you can put in here all of your meal plans, and then on the other side is where I can put my grocery list. So I can put my grocery list on this side. And then, but in the end, by the time I'm done, I could have a whole book of recipe, shopping list all done, and it's really as simple as that. But even now, I still go back and realize, oh, you know what, we had this, you know, a week or two ago. I'm not too picky about eating the same thing over and over. We actually tend to do that a lot with a little bit of variation. However, for the couple that I cook for, I really do try not to give the same meal plan every single week. So things like that are good. And then sometimes I will also have notations on dates, like you can see here. So then I can kind of get an idea of what is going to be available during which times of the year. Also in this, and I haven't filled it out yet because right now it's all in my head, but I'm noticing that a lot of prices are changing and going up higher, so I'm going to be starting to do this, and this is why I'm showing you. In the back here is a price checker, so I can put the date, item, store, size, price, unit price, and it'll really help me. Like something today when I noticed, when I went to Walmart and noticed that one of my staples is actually cheaper there than it is at a grocery store, then I will put that down in here so I can remember. Again, it's a really good idea to have a list of staples that you always buy, and then just add it to that. And so I haven't done that yet, I will be honest, because it's all in my head, and very rarely do I realize that I have forgotten something. What generally happens is that my children and my husband eat my ingredients. That's generally what happens. It's very frustrating. You go to make a dinner and all of your ingredients are gone. So now you have, let's recap. Now you've shopped your fridge, freezer, and pantry. Those are something that I do every week without fail. That's the first thing I do. You have made a menu based on that. You have made your grocery list based on what you're lacking. You have shopped your ads to see if there's anything that might fill in the gaps, like, okay, some fresh produce, so fruit was on sale that I don't necessarily have for a menu plan, but it would be good to have for snacks and things. Shampoo, those are the types of things that I will add now, shampoo and wipes and diapers and all that kind of stuff, and birthday gifts. And then I have two final steps for you. The first one is to make a day in your meal plan for a leftover day. You have to use up those leftovers. You don't want all that money going to waste in your food. Leftovers tend to be one of the top things that people waste or throw away or lose money on, however you want to look at it. Seriously, just use up all those leftovers. Use it once, use it twice. One thing that I do for leftovers is I make enough of our dinner so that my husband can take it to work the next day. My husband is a skinny guy. He needs a lot of food just because he burns through fuel so fast. And so not only am I looking for leftovers for him, I also, when I'm shopping, I need to look up stuff that he can take to work that's affordable. So those are the kind of things that I'm looking out for. But going back to leftovers, you can pack them for meals the next day. I know some YouTube ladies will actually make a large meal one day and then have it like Monday and Wednesday they will have the same meal, Tuesday and Thursday they will have the same meal, and they are able to streamline it better that way. I'm not saying that I'm never going to try that, but trust me, it has been tempting. I just don't know if I could get the right amounts. My kids eat dinner size or adult dinner size plates, no joke. And they tell me teenagers is going to be a lot more difficult. Okay, so then your leftovers, definitely don't forget those. All right, then the next thing I want to share with you is this is a great time to clean out your fridge. And I don't mean like clean it out of all the stuff in there, but literally take everything out. Then you can kind of assess what is there. I do this before I grocery shop every week. So every week my fridge gets a clean out. And one of the reasons is because it's not my fridge. It belongs to the house that we're renting. So it's very important to me that I keep on top of this. But I'll take all of that stuff out. I will wipe down everything. I will try to clean it all up. The freezer does get a little bit less, but definitely that fridge. And then it helps keep on top of knowing what you have in your fridge, knowing if you need condiments, that's probably the main thing that I always forget if I need it or not. And 3, it helps keep like odors, and I think it makes your fridge run more smoothly. I think I read that somewhere. I don't really care. I just like having a clean fridge. And then when you're putting groceries away, you can kind of make it easier to organize and keep it nice so that nothing, again, is going to get rotten, shoved in the back of the freezer or the back of the fridge where it gets too cold and your lettuce is going to wilt and rot easier along with your fruits and vegetables. So keep that in mind. All right, so those were just some tips that I was going to have for large families and menu planning and grocery budgets and help keeping your costs down. Not everybody has an extra freezer. Not everybody is able to grocery shop, twice a week or twice a month or once a month. I get it. Again, like I said, we are very into fresh fruits and vegetables, and we use them up so quickly that I do not have the space to store everything, and I don't have the space to get another fridge, and I don't have the money to pay the bill on the extra fridge. So I hope that video is helpful for somebody out there. Do you want to be in this too? I hope that video is helpful for somebody out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Go ahead and click the subscribe to see more content like this. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, and until next time, adios.